work. What's next? I mean, graph it out, man. We're speeding toward assassination, obviously, and no one will say that. But I don't know how you can reach that conclusion.
You have 3 lives out here in the world. First, they cancel you.
Die.
Then they try and put you in jail for something you did not do.
Die.
And if that doesn't happen, they kill you.
How did you die?
Imagine shooting a man with your last bullet, and he stands there, unfazed.
To put it simply, on July 13th, 2024, what we witnessed was a miracle, a godly intervention. That's what we saw. Friends, I don't want to sugarcoat this because we're going to go through this, and I know I'm late in the hour. I'm coming in. I was celebrating my anniversary, our 9th anniversary, so we were away from the weekend, spending time with my lovely wife. And then when I look at my phone, and Darth Vader, the heart of the matter, sent me a message, and I was like, you got to be kidding me. It was crazy to me. When I heard that President Donald Trump, an attempt to assassinate and take his life had actually happened, I wasn't shocked by the fact that it was done, because we've talked about this in the channel, that this was most likely what was going to take place next, because what else do you expect? I'm just wondering, do we understand all the preliminary steps that happens before that decision is made? It's not so random as we think. There's some things happening that looks very much like the very next thing that is left to be done to Donald Trump. We are told grateful defiant. Trump recounts surviving serial assassinations attempts at rally. And he says, I'm supposed to be dead. Friends, I got a number of videos here that I'm going to share with you today. Sit with me, watch till the end, because we're going to go through a number of series. I'm not going to tell you something that you probably didn't already know. I'm going to try to see if I can add a little bit of context to it and show the bigger picture. And as we always do, we give God the glory and the praise at the end. The fact that Trump is alive and well today, listen, it's only by the grace of God. When you look at this picture, for example, you say, how is it possible that Donald Trump is still alive? Were it not for the grace of God, friends, we will be talking about something completely different today. We will have been talking about wars, civil unrest, political conflicts in our country. There will be bloodshed all over the place. This will have been what we will have seen today. Were it not for God's intervention, friends, this would have been a whole different story. Just by the fact he turned his head just a couple centimeters. My dear friends, the bullet struck the ears of Donald Trump instead of his head. That is a close shot. And this is why I start this video by saying, man, this was a miracle. It really was. I got a few things to get through today, so let's begin. Number one, it has been predicted, and I have shared about this in my channel before, this attempt to take Trump's life is nothing that you and I haven't talked about before. We've had countless of videos in this channel where we've said, and you can look at our archives. Let me see if I can find them. Yeah, if you go look at our archives, and I just put assassination at the top, and you will see some videos here where this is exactly what I've talked about. Why did I say that? Because it's been predicted. It's only common sense. Charlie Kirk spoke about this. Dan Bongino talked about this. Tucker Carlson spoke about this. I think Larry Alex Taunton spoke about this in his podcast. It's just the environment coming from the media is calling for this. Listen to Charlie Kirk.
We're here at the Turning Point conference. Trump is speaking later. The Secret Service have been very kind of protective of President Trump, obviously, as they should be.
Yeah, no, I actually, it's interesting. They had to clear out this entire room. It threw a curveball in our entire day, but it was actually one of the greatest things, because I was like, wow, they're actually doing their job to protect him from someone assassinating him.
This is my question.
Someone's going to try to
Are you concerned about that? Yeah.
Well, what I saw today actually gave me a lot of hope that the Secret Service is really taking their job seriously. I know people have to wait long lines, and I say, okay, well, do you want him to be protected or not? And I think people understand that. Am I worried? Worry is not the right word. I'm afraid someone's going to try. And because what else do they have left? And I hope God protects him, and I hope those agents around him protect him.
Well, he was spot on. I'm not sure about the Secret Service doing their jobs anymore. That's very questionable now. But let's listen to Tucker Carlson, because Tucker Carlson is going to say the exact same thing from a different perspective, of course.
What do you think the future holds? Is it,
I don't know.
I mean, are they going to let Trump be president?
No, of course. I mean, look, if, they protested him, they called him names. He won anyway. They impeached him twice on ridiculous pretenses. They fabricated a lot about what happened on January 6th in order to impeach him again. It didn't work. He came back. Then they indicted him. It didn't work. He became more popular. Then they indicted him 3 more times. And every single time his popularity rose. So if you begin with criticism, then you go to protest, then you go to impeachment, now you go to indictment, and none of them work, what's next? I mean, graph it out, man. We're speeding toward assassination, obviously, and no one will say that. But I don't know how you can reach that conclusion.
Look at this. This is not a once and done type of thing. They've been calling for this type of the assassination of Donald Trump. This has been a call.
Go and take Trump out tonight. Take him out now.
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump.
I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
Please get up in the face of some Congress people.
People will do what they do.
I want to tell you, Gorsuch, I want to tell you, Kavanaugh, you have released the whirlwind and you will pay the price.
Trumpers, be careful. Walk lightly. And for those of you who are soldiers, make them pay.
If you had to be stuck in an elevator with either President Trump, Mike Pence, or Jeff Sessions, who would it be?
Does one of us have to come out alive?
Then punch him in the face.
That I thought he should have punched him in the face.
I feel like punching him.
I'd like to take him behind the gym if I were in high school. If we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him. No, I wish we were in high school, I could take him behind the gym.
Exactly, friends. And the media has been calling for this, and the reason why it had happened is because they've set up the stage and radicalized masses of individuals to feel certain type of way about Trump. And the result was a bullet almost hitting the man's head.
Oh, and by the way, the one that I didn't mention is they're trying to create the atmosphere, and I've been saying this for years now, trying to create the atmosphere of assassination. Do I believe that they would assassinate Trump? No, I don't. But I do believe by calling him a fascist, a Nazi, and saying things like this will be the end of democracy if he is elected, and you have all these idiots, from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez to what's her name, Rachel Maddow, saying that they fear that they will be sent to concentration camps if Trump wins. They are trying to create the atmosphere of hysteria and assassination. They're hoping some left-wing nut out there will take a rifle and will shoot him. And they can go, oh, how horrifying. We didn't see this coming. It's exactly the same playbook as the fascists, the Nazis of 1930s Germany did, with specific targets, individuals, and with a whole group of people, the Jews, by calling them vermin, by calling them leeches, by calling them plotters and schemers. And the reason why the Germans lost the First World War, they created an atmosphere of hate towards those people. They wanted the German people to mistreat them. They wanted the German people to throw things at them in the streets and to strike them and to spit on them and to not shop at their stores. That's what they wanted, and that's what they're creating here. Again, I come back to where we start when we were talking about animals. These are fundamentally anti-human individuals. They hate humanity.
Did you guys hear about this And this was a prophecy. And again, I'm not sure how much of these prophecies are 100% true, but that little clip here, this man was spot on. I guess his name is Brendan Biggs, Chiocolenti, or Chiocolenti. That right here is spot on.
Rising up, and then I saw an attempt on his life. This bullet flew by his ear, and it came so close to his head that it busted his eardrum. And I saw he fell to his knees during this time frame, and he started worshiping the Lord. He got radically born again during this time frame. I'm talking, people say he's saved now, but he becomes really on fire for Jesus, for what I saw coming. And then I saw people interceding when I saw him winning the presidency through great. The Lord showed me it would go clear into the summer. Great persecution would come on him through the judges and through the law and all these people trying to sue him and all this stuff. But there would be a stop to it, and there things would start to break free come toward the fall. And then I saw him winning the election through the Patriots coming out and voting, rising up. And then I saw an attempt on his life.
Wow. That little segment of prophetic prediction here is spot on. It really went for the ear, and he touched his right ear, and that right here you can't overlook. I have to do another video about this. There is too much to be said about this. But I'll tell you what, I'm so glad that Republicans are beginning to speak out and speak up against this. You know, there's a lot to be said about the Secret Services and what happened. It was a massive failure. When you look at that, you're like, how did you guys miss that? I mean, but again, these media personnels have been calling for this. It is shocking to me that the man is still standing, is alive and well. Elon Musk now says, hey, listen, I fully endorse Donald Trump now. And I hope for his rapid recovery. So what is happening as a result? While the hysteria on the left, you got people talking like this, you can tell these people are not really right in their minds.
You missed that! We don't miss those! Come on, man! Fuck! We don't miss those!
That's just crazy. And that's actually a very common theme. You can go through TikTok right now and find a whole bunch of it. So we have a lot of questions about the Secret Services. Like, I mean, this was a massive failure. 42 seconds watching. People had testified that they saw the man climbing on the ladder. Look at that.
And watch and listen to the rally, right? We couldn't see him, but we could hear him. So we walked up, and absolutely, we're 50 feet away from us. So we're standing there, you know, we're pointing at the guy crawling up the roof.
And he had a gun, right?
He had a rifle.
A rifle.
We could clearly see him with a rifle. Absolutely. We're pointing at him. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey, man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police were like, huh, what? You know, like they didn't know what was going on. You know, we're like, hey, right here on the roof. We can see him from right here. We see him. You know, he's crawling. And next thing you know, I'm thinking to myself, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him for, 2-3 minutes. Secret Service is looking at us from the top of the barn. I'm pointing at that roof, just standing there like this. And next thing you know, 5 shots ring out.
That's crazy, man. Yeah, some people are going to have to answer some serious questions about what happened here. Like, we're going to have to do a part 2 video. And again, the rhetoric is out of control. The rhetoric from Biden, from the media, the failure from the Secret Services, the personnel as well, has to be questions. A lot of people now, we're going to have to ask them what really happened here. I want to close up with this final take from Vivek Ramaswamy, because were it not for the grace of God on that day, friends, we would have been reading a different story. This will not be the America that we now know. I'm so glad there was a God that day who says, this is not going to happen today. Not today, Satan.
What's going through my mind now, first of all, is we heard the story of that person, an innocent, enthusiastic rally goer who was shot and killed. First, our heart goes out to them and our condolences goes out to that family. But I should say this, Trace, is that I personally believe that God intervened today, not just on behalf of President Trump, but on behalf of our country. If you think about this, 1 centimeter's distance in the path of a bullet was the future of not only Donald Trump's life, but I think the life of the United States of America. Imagine what we would be talking about today were it not for a hair's length difference in the path of a bullet. And I think that that's frightening. And I think that this is a moment for us all to step back. I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat, voting for Biden, voting for Trump, it doesn't matter. This is a moment where if one positive thing comes out of this otherwise near tragedy, let it be this, that first of all, we saw a president, a commander-in-chief, who in his most vulnerable moment, you saw it unvarnished. He stood up, he took the fire, he took the hit, and still stood up for the people who he stepped up to represent. And I think the other thing we have to take away is that this is unacceptable in the United States of America. This is not who we are. Disagree or not, we settle our differences peacefully through free speech and open debate, not this way. And so if one silver lining comes out of tonight, let it be that. And I hope that we begin the process of healing as a country while avoiding what could have been a national disaster that really, without exaggeration, could spell the end of the United States as we know it had this gone a different direction.
I'll tell you what, man. Thank God. Thank God. Things didn't go according to the plan of the enemy and the powers that be, whatever they wanted. They didn't get what they want. Thank God for his intervention and his protection over President Donald Trump. It will have been a different story were it not for God's intervention today. And I am so grateful that I can wake up in a country today and say, you know what, friends, we are not at war with each other. This would have been a different story, friends. It would have been a different story. Listen, I don't even want to think about what that would have been like. But I'm so glad that the Lord, it had to be the Lord. If you watch this channel and you don't believe in God, I don't know what else to tell you. After you saw what you just saw the other day and you still don't believe, I don't know what to tell you. The Bible says, friends, the Lord is your keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. Psalm 121. Go read that. You want to be blown away? Go read Psalm 93, Psalm 91, Psalm 106, Psalm 103, Psalm 23. This will tell you a lot about God's power to maintain and to protect and to keep. And I tell you what, I pray for President Trump. I don't pray for his demise. I love the man. I think the man is a power for good in our society. And what the media has been doing, friends, it is atrocious. It is atrocious. And I hope there will be a change as a result in the way that they speak. And I hope there will be a change in our administration as a result. And I hope that the people that are completely left-wing deranged in their mentality about the assassination, thinking it's a positive thing, I hope they do some self-examination, some soul-searching, because this right here should have never happened in this country. And the fact it even come close to that, friends, it is scary. So now, let me share a final thing with you. I was looking at my comment box, and I love what Stevie Newman 1393 says. This truly, most definitely, absolutely, and positively made Donald Trump even greatly stronger. Wow. Mightier and way more truly popular than ever before. Indeed. Make America good again. And first again. Always forever. Us, Trump 2024. This is only going to work in Trump's favor. Thank God for his intervention. Link in the description below. Like and subscribe to the page. Click the bell icon for more. If you enjoyed this video, share your thought and perspective with me. Much more could be said. I have to make another videos about a number of things. I got a lot more to work with here. But wow. I didn't talk about the shooter. I wasn't paying attention to none of that. I didn't talk about some of the things that were said. There's a lot more we can talk about. But friends, praise the Lord. Check out our merch. I want to hear from you. Until next time, have a good one. Bye.